Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a lap guide for Mount Panorama, and for today's video, we're going to be in the Suzuki VGT Group 3, and we're on the racing medium tires with BOP on. So, wanted to try something a little different from the Nissan GT-R. The VGT is pretty good down the two big straights, but it is a little interesting when you go through the turns. You'll see what I mean right now, because you need to brake just after you pass the 100 meter board. So full braking power, quickly making your way down to second gear to force the car to rotate around the first turn. But as you hit the apex, go up to fourth gear and try to get on the throttle as soon as possible. But you do want to be careful getting on the throttle because this car can get a little squirrely when you're exiting a turn. And for the Suzuki, shift when the bar is halfway full. Now you're braking as soon as the path on the left starts, going down to third gear to once again force the car to rotate, ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, go up to fourth gear and do be careful getting on the throttle as once again the car can get a little squirrely and you can see it happen right now. Now this is where it gets a little tricky because you want to start to brake as soon as you hit the apex of this mini left turn. Going on the brakes as soon as you can, going down to first gear to force the car to rotate, but make your way up to third gear as you carefully get on the throttle, and you can do a little short shifting to make sure that the car doesn't step out over here. Then turn in when you pass the happy little tree that is on the left and do a quick lift off our throttle. That way the car turns in a bit more, and the same goes for these next two turns. Quick lift off our throttle, you can stay on 6th gear, and then before you pass the marshals that are on the right, you want to lift off our throttle again, and you can also stay on 6th gear, getting close and personal to barrier R on the left. Bring us up towards the left, pointing towards the right side of the track, and brake before you go under the Audi R8 sign. You'll be using braking and throttle at the same time to keep the car nice and stable as you go down the hill. Bring yourself towards the right, going down to third gear for a short moment, but you can go up to fourth gear before you go through the dipper, which is the turn we just went through. And do be careful on the throttle because you can see the car is getting pretty squirrely over here. And then brake just before you start to make this right turn. Bring yourself towards the right. And as soon as the wall on the right turns blue, that's when you want to start to brake as much as you can. Going down to second gear to force the car to rotate around a turn. Quickly make your way up to fourth gear and then get on the throttle as soon as you can. In a moment we will fast forward through this. There we go. Bring yourself towards the right and you're looking for the 150 meter board as that is your next braking point. So brake right as you pass it. Full braking power. Going down to second gear to force the car to turn in a bit more, slowly easing off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. Go up to fourth gear and carefully get on the throttle. You can still get a bit of wheel spin on fourth gear in this car. And finally you're braking right as you pass the 100 meter board. So this is just like the first turn, so full braking power. Go down to second gear for more rotation, but exit on fourth gear. Here I mess it up and accidentally exit on third gear. But that is pretty much it for this lap guide, getting a 159.5. We'll go through this again without stopping the video, so let's get that started. So braking right after you pass the 100 meter board, you can see me quickly shift down to second gear, force the car to rotate, quickly get up to fourth gear and then get on the throttle as soon as you can. And the Suzuki is a bit understeery on turn-in, so you need to go down the gears quickly to force the car to whip around the turn. Basically help it with its turn-in. So brake as a path on the left starts, quickly go down to third gear, but then exit on fourth gear, shifting when the bar is halfway full. Little lift off our throttle before you start to brake as you go through the cutting. Going down to first gear to force the car to rotate, but then quickly making your way up to third, then fifth gears. Little lift off our throttle as you pass the happy little tree. For the next two turns, do a quick lift off our throttle. You can stay on 6th gear. Before you pass the marshals on the right, do a quick lift off our throttle and then turn in. and then brake before the Audi R8 sign, using braking and throttle at the same time to maintain the car's stability, especially in this car, as this car does get a bit squirrely. Go on 4th gear, just trying to keep the car nice and stable. Brake before the turn starts, and then as you go through forced elbow, you can force the car down to 2nd gear, get it around the corner, and then exit on 4th gear. And another thing about the Suzuki, it does get a little squirrely when you're exiting your turn, so you want to try to get the car straightened up as soon as you can so you can fully get on the throttle. But anyways, as we're going through the Conrad straight, bring yourself towards the right, brake at the 150 meter board, going down to 2nd gear for more rotation, but exit on 4th gear, getting on the throttle as soon as possible, again still shifting halfway, and then brake at the 100 meter board, similar towards that of the first turn. Just make sure you exit on 4th gear, and that is it for the lap guide. And hopefully this lap guide does help you out a bit, especially if you're thinking about trying something different other than the Nissan GT-R, since I'm going to assume that that car is going to be really good or even dominant this week. But that's going to be all from me. Do take care. Have a nice and awesome 2023. Thank you guys for supporting the channel throughout all these years, and thanks to the channel members for supporting the channel as well. So this is Mr. MCA. Have a good week, and I'll see you in the next video.